Hello, welcome back to Hunter Tuned. Today we're going to take the EF out for a little ride on the street. I actually haven't even driven this car since the dyno tune. I brought it home from the shop after I dyno tuned it, and I got the headlights working and the bumper put on. I actually found this little piece that goes under the hood. I was asking in one of the videos like why the bumper was cut the way it was. And that piece was actually sitting in the back seat of the car. So I put it on. This stuff doesn't really fit that good, unfortunately. You know, and I'm not really digging the look, but nonetheless, it does have a bumper and a hood and everything like that installed. And like I said, the headlights are now working. I have turn signals that all work. I got the radio wired up. I still have to get a DIN thing to fit the radio. As you can see, it's just kind of sitting chilling on the floor right now. But yeah, nonetheless, I'm going to take this thing out for a ride and probably sell it, to be honest. I think I'm going to focus on just the Integra and the Mustang for now, because I want to possibly do a turbo kit on my Integra. And the EF is a great car. I just I don't really want to continue with it, to be honest. So I did have it listed for $7,500, just like that Tim McGraw song, 7,500 OBO or whatever it's called. I got it listed for that. It's not perfect, obviously, but it is you know, a decent car. Yeah, I also have some other stuff for sale out of this car. I have this Mugen valve cover, Ryan Star Racing plug wire cover there, and I have this Mugen valve cover. It's pretty nice. I don't know if anybody wants this or if it's worth anything. I also have a Fuel-Tech FT450 for sale that I had on my Grom with the harness and the wideband, the Fuel-Tech wideband and all that stuff. I have that for sale as well. I was asking $1,000 shipped for that. I do have an EF cluster here that I'll probably get rid of. And yeah, just trying to recuperate some money because I got a big build I'm doing for my green bike that I'm trying to recuperate some money for. And I want to buy a Harley. Me and the girlfriend want to be able to take some trips this summer, and I want to get a bagger. I want to get a badass Harley. So I think, you know, got to give up some toys to get another toy kind of thing. So that's what we're gonna do. Plus, I got a lot of shit right now. I got a lot of toys and a lot of stuff that I don't use, and the EF is one of them. So that's just is what it is. You know, projects come and go on this channel like crazy. So don't think that this is the last one. I'm sure we're gonna get another one very soon. But for now, I want to just sell some stuff so I can afford to go buy a Harley or put a turbo kit on the Integra, stuff like that. And then build my CBR 250 engine. So I got all the parts actually coming for that, for the Grom, the CBR build that we're doing. I actually just made some playlists too. If you guys want to check out Christine, you guys will have to give her a shout out. She actually went through a lot of my videos and put them into playlists. And I've noticed that I've actually been getting more views on like older videos ever since I made those playlists. So share the channel, everybody, and try to help grow Hunter Tuned as much as possible. And I hope the playlists help out the channel as well, so you guys can watch through, you know, playlists of certain, if you guys are only interested in K series or B series or just tuning or just the Grom and motorcycle stuff, you guys can click the playlist and watch those videos. So I think that's pretty cool. I am a pretty diverse channel. This channel isn't just about you know, Hondas and, you know, tuning a Civic on the dyno. I want to make my channel more than that. I want to be able to enjoy life and show you guys everything I'm doing. So hopefully you guys understand and you stick around. And if you are new here, consider subscribing and hitting the like button, because it definitely helps out the channel. So without further ado, this windshield is disgusting. I have to clean off the roof, and I have to put a new wideband in here because the wideband sensor is only reading like 15 and leaner. It's not reading anything lower than that. Every time I get into it, the wideband just goes lines. So I'm going to change a sensor, and the problem is with an up pipe especially, and the moisture with E85, the moisture can't escape the pipe as much. And you can see it splatters all over the hood and it splatters all over the windshield. So what the best advice that I can give people is warm the car up with the wideband unplugged. You can just unplug the sensor or unplug the gauge. And some guys run a switch on it too. And once the car warms up and you're not spitting moisture out of the pipe, then you can plug it back in and the sensors will last forever. But them cold starts, especially here in Wisconsin when it's 20 degrees or colder, there's a lot more moisture that builds up and kills the O2 sensors a lot easier. So yeah, like I said, anybody's interested in that fuel tech, I will sell it. I have I'm just trying to recuperate some money, like I said, to get some stuff rolling. If you guys are on me yeah, okay. Alright guys, we are out cruising the EF. I got my new O2 sensor installed. How it feels on the street. Last time we made a video driving this thing on the street, it still had the log manifold and the old turbo. So see what I think now that it's got the top mount and the Hunter tuned 5855 turbo from huntertune.com. We'll see how this thing how it does. Do a roll onto it in third and see what happens here. She's scratching for traction, that's for sure. It's about 10 pounds of boost. That's a little baby B16. 1.6 liters of fury. Do a fourth gear pull. Yeah, the water temp on this car, 171 degrees. I don't even have the cooling fan wired in right now, but I don't need it. Yeah, we're in 5th gear right now, 2,800 RPM, 4 pounds of boost already. Before 3 grand, it's making 4 pounds of boost. If that tells you how fast this thing spools up. It really comes into the power after VTEC, but that's when the camshaft really starts to come alive, because this car has a set of stage 2 turbo cams. But it's a nice day out. It's still cold, unfortunately. It's only like 38 degrees, but it looks warm. But it's boost weather, right? I gotta try to fix the oil pressure gauge because the fitting on the back of it is leaking a little bit. I don't know if you guys know about these mechanical oil pressure gauges, but the fittings that come with them are just, they're kind of shitty. They're really hard to like get them to seal right. You either over tighten them or you under tighten them, and there's a really fine line between, leaking and not leaking. It's not bad, it's just a little, like it just weeps out of the hole. But I even put the copper line on this gauge and it's still leaking a little bit. It leaks at the gauge and it leaks at the freaking motor. Just a very little bit. We'll try a second forget the damn rev limiter is like 9,500 on this thing. I gotta double check my water temp sensor because that's why I got a check engine light right now. It came up as water temperature, and the temperature on the tune was showing like 150, and then it was showing 170. It wasn't consistent, so I wonder if the plug is loose or something. So we're gonna check it out quick. Yeah, for some reason it's throwing a coolant temp sensor code. It's probably just a bad sensor, but I don't know. I'm gonna try to key it on and off and see if it stays off. Yeah, it's staying off now, but all the vibrations maybe just kind of rattled the sensor loose a little bit. It might be just an old sensor and the resistor inside of the sensor is just a little weak. You know, 30-year-old sensor. Because I put a brand new wiring harness on this car actually, so I doubt it's the wiring. Yeah, now the water temp is reading good again. And the reason I think it's not wiring is because the temperature was fluctuating on the sensor, on the data log. So do a little log here in third gear. Shit boxes. Yeah, no water temp code that time. This thing above like 8 grand, it just gets wild. I think I was saying before too, like the last time we drove this car with the log manifold on it and shit, it felt like it was struggling up top. Yeah, not the case whatsoever anymore. This thing really comes alive after like 7,500. It's kind of nuts. I'm just always nervous like revving these things so high, but they take it. Just got to change the oil more frequently. Yeah, now my coolant temp is reading 163. 164. I don't know if you guys can see it, but 168. Yeah, it has a mind of its own. I just recorded a data log so we can see if the temperature's fluctuating on the log too. But it makes good torque in the mid-range too. It just doesn't fall off. So when the higher you rev it, the more it pulls. That's the good thing about the small turbo on this setup, is it still makes good mid-range torque and shit, but if you keep revving it, it'll just keep ripping. And on the dyno, I wasn't getting any boost creep with this manifold. Typically with a camshaft and a, you know, too big of a turbo and shit, you'll get boost creep, but this turbo's sized right, and stuff like that, it doesn't creep at all. It maybe creeps like a pound or two, but I think peak boost is like 12 pounds. And then, you know, on the dyno we made 360 horsepower to the tire. And in this little thing, you feel every horsepower. It's actually quite crazy. The wideband's working good again. Like I said, I just gotta get that oil pressure gauge figured out and maybe a new coolant temp sensor, but right now it's working perfect. I'm just getting too old to do this shit on the street anymore. I'd rather be at the racetrack doing this. But I figure show you guys how it rips. It's pretty fun. And it's funny how good this engine runs. Like, it's so quiet under the hood. You know, obviously other than the up pipe, the exhaust, but like the engine itself, like, you know, it's a good one. You know, I feel like some Hondas and stuff, like some of these blocks are 25 years old and, you know, they're weathered. You know, they got a lot of miles on them and a lot of heat cycles have gone through them. So a lot of times when, you know, sometimes when you build these things, they're not what the metal isn't what they used to be, you know, just because they're old. So when you get a good one like this, it's a good one. And realistically, I would love to take this power plant and put it in like an EG. I don't know, EGs are just more my flavor. I like EF, but they're definitely more of a shitbox feeling. And I have a little bit of a clunk in the front end, you can probably hear. And I think it's because of them. I put those Max Peding coilovers in. The ones with the pillow top. The pillow top hat. And I think those top hats, when they move around, they make noise. It's the only thing I can think of, because all the ball joints and shit are tight. It's got all 4 lug nuts on all wheels. Yeah, just chilling, 173 degrees. Coolant temp. And I fixed the heater, which is awesome. It's got really hot heat. Holy shit. I was telling you guys that the heater actually wasn't working. Or one of the last times I drove it, the blower motor wasn't blowing. And it's because my headlight harness wasn't grounded. So I got that all figured out, and now the heater works like a champ. And the radio does too, but I gotta set that up. And I'm sorry that, you know, you're not really seeing a whole lot. Can maybe try to move the camera a little bit this way, but not really. This car still needs some finishing touches done. The gas tank leaks above, you know, like 2/3. I think it needs a new tank, which I was gonna put one in it, but I just haven't had the time or motivation to do it. So it needs a tank, and that's about it, really. The tires are kind of bald. I wonder why, but this thing is rev happy like a mother trucker. Just annihilates the tires. How'd that go, Hunter? asphalt road definitely doesn't hook as good as concrete. Yeah, I'm just looking at the data log from ripping out on the street there, and peak boost that we saw was 11.6. So if you guys believe that, 11.7 actually. So I mean, this car makes really good power on not a lot of boost. And this is about the most power that I personally want to run on the street with regular ass street tires. If I put a Mickey Thompson or something on it, then could turn the boost up, but it doesn't even pay to turn the boost up with, you know, street tires. You know, like I said, you can hook 350-ish, like a real 350 horsepower that you guys saw this car on the dyno with. You can hook that about as good as you saw tonight. So if I put a set of you know, Mickey Thompson ET Streets or something on the car, it would definitely hook up a lot better, and could probably run a little bit more boost and forth. But this thing is fast. Like, it's no slouch. You guys got to remember, it's an EF hatch, so they don't really weigh a whole lot of anything. Another thing too is I got to get a battery for the car, or I got to charge this one like overnight, because it's it doesn't seem to want to take a charge. The car runs fine, the alternator and everything's good, but the battery's just old and weak. So I have a big battery for it, and I was going to do a battery relocation on it, but I didn't get around to doing that. But I have a brand new, like, normal battery, but not this really dinky thing that's in the engine bay of this car. So we'll see. But maybe I'll pick up with you guys in a little bit. I'm actually running out to the shop right now, and I'm selling an S300 that I've had on Facebook for a little while. My buddy Alan is coming down and picking it up from me, so gonna go do that. And then I might be selling one of these scooters too. I got this 40 mile an hour electric scooter. It's a dual motor. It does 40 miles an hour. It'll rip your arms off. It's so fast. I got somebody maybe coming to pick that up tomorrow, so I'm going to maybe pick up with you in a minute when we get out to the shop. And yeah.